Stage, Mira!
Thank you. I was a firstborn grandchild in my extended family, and that kind of inspired all the male members of that family to teach me skills that a girl child should have to succeed in life. So my grandfather, he grew up in the village, and he really liked to go to a nearby park and sit on a slant and watch the river pass by and teach me how to choose the youngest, softest dandelion leaves for bean salad. And as he was sitting in the grass, he also taught me how to roll up a cigarette. And then on the way home, we would swing by a nearby pub, which was just like 2 doors down from where my grandparents lived, and he would have a glass of wine. And that was also an excuse to introduce me to the staff, so that when my grandmother was not around, he could send me to that pub to bring him a bottle of wine. His youngest son, my uncle, thought that those are really useless skills, and that what I should really know is to climb trees. And once I managed to accomplish that, then he took me to walk on tram lines with my eyes closed. Why? I will never know. I tried to figure it out, but to this day I don't know. And then as a pinnacle of skills that I should really have was to trap pigeons and sparrows with a shoebox and a piece of string. Now, my dad was more sophisticated than that, so he taught me how to waltz. He taught me how to tie different ties. He taught me how to play chess and bridge. But most of all, for some reason, he thought that I would be an Olympic diver. So in the summertime, while my younger brother with the kids would be splashing in the shallows in the ocean, having their backs totally scorched red from the sun, my dad and I were practicing diving off of a fishing boat. I mean, my dad was in the water, I was jumping. And I was jumping either from the bow or lower levels of the mast. And I would jump until my front matched the color of my brother's back from all the missed landings. And then we would go home, and because my brother was in lots of pain, he would get nice cold yogurt on his back and an ice cream, and I was allowed to practice chess moves. And then my younger brother grew up, and he thought that what I should really know is how to use a bicycle as a horse to jump over holes left over from archaeological digs in our local park. And it worked excellent for a while, until one day I brought the bicycle in 2 pieces home. He also taught me how to clean and change spark plugs on his motorcycle. And what I learned was, don't ever do that in a white summer dress. And the only really useful thing that he taught me was how to use cigarette paper to close a thin bleeding wound. It came really useful some years later when I was in a foreign country, all by myself, second night in the graduate dorm, and I fell off the bed, and I hit the edge of the wall with my right eyelid. And then I fumbled to find the switch, and I turned the light on, and there was this huge mirror, and I looked at the mirror, and there was all this blood coming down. And I remember, cigarette paper. So I ripped the cigarette, licked the paper, glued it on, set it for a while, had the whiskey, went to bed. That afternoon, there was a party where I was to meet for the first time all my future lecturers and colleagues. what the cigarette paper did not manage to do was to prevent my eye turning this absolutely amazing, vibrant purple color. And everybody asked me, what happened to you? And I said, well, I come from Belgrade, Yugoslavia. That's a small fashion detail this autumn season. Thank you.